Hello, I'm Dustin Meehan.
Is Misha
I'm in
Dustin Meehan agus nuair me sa tír seo crushing me go into your head. You join me at a tremendously exciting moment. It's Into Your Head, number 607 for Monday. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Oh, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. You've got topics coming out of this frigging thing. For want of a better word, why would you want a better word than that? It's a fine word. It's one of the finest words known to man, and I haven't even used it yet. So why would you want a better word than that? You're being too damn consumerism picky there, if you don't mind me saying so. It's the typical consumerist generation. Someone comes along and says, here's this thing, and you say, what is it? And before you even give me a chance to answer, you say, no, go away with that. That's not the next big thing. I want the next thing, not the previous thing or the current thing. I want the next. I've already got the current thing. I want the next thing. That's why they have America's fucking next top model aeroplane on the television and say, oh, the ones we have right now, they were okay last year, but we need the next one now. What's the new? Yesterday is the new white, and tomorrow is the new black, but by the time it comes along tomorrow, the sun will have come up and the darkness will have sunk into the disappeared ironically behind the horizon into the dark half of the sky, and then we now won't know where we are. We won't know. We will know where we are. We just won't take an interest in it. We'll be too busy worrying about where we're going to be. We'll be going, where are we going to be this time tomorrow? I'll tell you where we'll be this time tomorrow. We'll be in the exact same space as we are now, because the world will have rotated exactly 360 degrees. Although admittedly it may have moved along its orbit of the sun as well a little, so that discounts that a little. But now you're just nitpicking, nitpicking like there's no tomorrow. There is a tomorrow, I can tell you. There's a tomorrow really ahead of tomorrow. What's that thing? There's a thing somewhere that goes tomorrow and tomorrow. Let's look that up now. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Is it Shakespeare or something? We'll have a look now. We'll see if the internet can tell us. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow search. It's a Shakespeare quote. I was dead right. It's from Macbeth. It says, let's bring it up now. I hope it's not still copyrighted. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools. The way to dusty death, etc. Something about a candle. And it says, it is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. That's not no relevance here. And don't start with your smart arse comments about, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, he randomly came up with this Shakespearean stuff about sounds coming out of an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. That must surely signify something. You've contradicted yourself there, because it can't have any meaning if it signifies nothing. I also know what you're thinking there. You're thinking the first 4 minutes of today's show being to put it mildly, I suppose so. If you put it a little bit less mildly, you might be able to hear some words. There's such a thing as putting something too mildly. You can be so mild. If you're too mild, all anyone hears is silence. Unless they're able to, There's an ice cream van. There's an ice cream van approaching my dead end. I hope it remembers to stop and reverse and turn around rather than continuing on into the wall and crashing into the next estate where Bobby does more business because that estate has more children in it, I'd say. They probably have, I don't know. The next estate to this is yellow. It's all yellow walls. Somebody took the decision to build an estate full of houses and paint everything yellow on the outside. My estate, they're white and red on the outside, but yellow on the inside. But don't worry, I'm going to start getting rid of the yellow during this summer. We're going to banish all magnolia from the interior walls of this house. If magnolia is yellow, which I think it is, magnolia is yellow. It might as well be yellow. It's white with a hint of filthy yellow in it. I'm going to rid all magnolia from this fucking house. Builders pay lazy fucking builders with their magnolia everything. We're going to paint. I've got a room full of cans of paint. I'm basically just going to open them up and spread paint everywhere. It's going to be the Michelangelo of oh, wait a minute. Was Michelangelo the fellow who painted the ceilings? Or was he the fellow who painted I don't know, was there another fella painting the floor above him? And if he went a bit too far at it, would his picture leak through into the picture above on the floor? I don't know. Or maybe the floor fella was in the same room. So he was on the floor of that room and your man was on the ceiling above. In which case he needs some scaffolding that doesn't damage the paint on the floor. Otherwise there's going to be a feud. We'll have a feudal war between Michelangelo and the other fella who does the ceilings or the floors or wherever the other thing was. Wasn't there a fellow with no ear as well? Well, he had no ear on one side. He had an ear on the other side. If he had got this is why when you get arrested, they take a head-on picture of you so you can get a full image all in one go of the total number of ears that you have, because you could photograph someone from one side and get the impression that they have no ears or that they have two ears, because your brain fills in. Your brain sees it from one side and sees the ear and automatically assumes that there's an ear on the other side facing away from the camera, which in this case would be totally incorrect. And for another thing, I don't think photography was invented back in the time when your man was drawing the thing with the no ears. Is it Van Gogh? I think it is Van Gogh, as posh people call him, Van Gogh. They say it's not Gough. The G and the H and the F and several other consonants are all silent. They're just there for decoration, just like any painting. You put in some consonants, and next time I create a drawing, I'm just going to put in loads of letters over it. I'm going to slap in consonants and vowels all over the place in different colours over all the faces and the characters, and say, so would ask what they are. I'll say there, and they'll ask, what the fuck does mean? And I'll say, oh, those are silent. You don't pronounce them. They're just there. They're there for effect. They're there to carry the structure. They're basically holding the canvas together. But you don't pronounce them. Why would you need to pronounce a picture anyway, you fucking weirdo? The only thing you need to read on that is my signature on the back. Or maybe I'll put it on the front, I suppose. I'll sign my name across the paint. I'll probably leave a blank bit. If I was a painter, I wouldn't want to be painting over my own painting just to put my signature on it. No, I'd craftily leave a blank bit, or I'd have a frigging, I don't know, I'd have something in the... This ruler would make a good... If I was painting this room, this little white ruler on the desk would be a perfect place for me to put my signature over. Of course, they didn't have rulers back in the... This is a pile of crap, isn't it? A pile of pure unmitigated drivel, and absolutely piles of it. I think we'll be taking a mid-season break soon, if you don't mind me saying so. We'll be taking a week or two off at some point in order to recharge the vocational vocabulary Facebook. We'll be taking a break soon on Into Your Head. But don't panic, it'll be nothing but a break, and nothing but a break, during which we'll be painting the house, possibly doing, I don't none of your business what else we'll be doing. What I do outside the confines of this series is of no concern of yours. This isn't frigging Big Brother. And even if it was Big Brother, you wouldn't get to follow me off the scenes after the filming stops. Although I would, I suppose, if you read a British tabloid newspaper that was following me around in my own home, putting spy glasses in through the hole in the net curtain. Can you put a telescope through a hole in the net curtain? Will that work? I don't know. Would you have to make the hole bigger, or could you have some sort of I don't know, some sort of a thing? I suppose you could just smash the window down. You might as well, if you're going to go that far, if you're going to trample on people's rights like that, you might as well just get a bulldozer and bulldoze down the front of their house and go in with a full movie film set and just film their lives like you're filming a doll's house with the front of the house opened up like a door. They'll probably get suspicious after a while. They'll think, wait a minute, I just walked up to the front of my bedroom and there seems to be nothing there except the big cavern, and there's a bulldozer driving away slowly, and there's people looking at me, and I appear to be on the television as well. Why am I on the television? I don't know. Why is anyone on the television these days? Apparently, you don't have to have a reason these days. Anyone can just go on the television. You can get on. I've never been on the television myself, although that's not true. Although it is in a way, but in another way it's not. I used to regularly walk by a television shop that had a camera outside, so we could put you on the television and you could watch yourself on the television in the frigging window. And this was meant as an advertising gimmick. It would say, buy this television and you'll be on television instantly. Of course, that didn't help them, because I was able to explain, even at 6 years of age, that if I can already see myself on the television when it's in the shop window, there's no need for me to make any purchase, because I can already see myself. So my purchasing of that television would add nothing to the, although it would probably mean that my family will get more value out of our television license, because I wouldn't have needed to purchase an additional television license for that television if I'm just incorporating it into an existing household where my parents already had a TV license, if I understand the rules correctly. Although I'm glad I didn't buy that television now, because that was in the early 80s, and we're having the big digital switch over this year. Be way far out of date by now. In fact, if I remember rightly, it would have to be at least post 1990 to even pick up Channel 4 and a couple of other extra channels that have been created since. So we'll leave that behind, and I'll take a piss break now. And while I'm taking my piss break, you go to intoyourhead.com/offers, click on my Amazon links, and do whatever you're going to do on Amazon this week. Just go through my links, and that will help finance this short piss break. On with the show.
Hello, this is J. Edgar Casey, and whenever I am listening to fine podcasts, I tune into the Into Your Head program because it's very clean.
Two cats walk into a bar. One of the cats straight away goes up to the bar counter and jumps up onto a stool, or climbs up, whatever you want to call it. If you want to figure out whether it's a jump or a climb, you're going to have to get some slow motion capturing done and look back and revise it. This isn't a freaking horse race here. We don't do freeze frame photography to examine in every movement someone makes. The cat's out for a night out in the piss, for Christ's sake. Don't be analysing his anyway. That's not to say that there isn't a security camera recording his every move, but that's only to be accessed in case of a criminal investigation of some sort. It's not there to provide extra colour for a two cats walk into a bar story. Anyway, two cats walk into a bar. One of the cats gets up on the stool and sits up and says, "Hello, barman." And the barman says, "Hello, cat in the bar. Can I call you cat in the bar, or should I call you cat customer? Should I just call you sir?" And the cat says, "I'd rather you just treat me the same as everyone else and just call me a customer, unless you're calling the humans cat customers as well. In which case I'd be happy to be called cat customer. Otherwise, I don't really want to be labelled with these species names. Species to me, it's pretty much, to my little cat brain, it sounds very like feces. And you all know where we stand on feces, us cats. We get a bit of feces coming out of us, and we can't wait to bury it in the ground. Oh, we'll bury it. That's how coal's made. It's from cats burying their shit so far into the ground that they pound it down and down, and it basically turns into fossil fuels, which makes no sense really, because, well, yes it does. Now that you mention it, cats sometimes eat chicken bones, so if there's any sort of bone material in that feces, it could well turn into a fossil fuel. But no, if you're feeding your cat proper food that isn't full of bones, then you'll, you know what I mean. Anyway, suffice to say, the cat says, feces to me is not a thing I'd want to be associated with, not even by a coincidence of rhyming. So let's leave the species things out of this. Species for oh, there's a show title. I must write that down now before I forget. Show 607, species. Feces. We can check the spelling later, or I suppose I could just check it now by right-clicking Faeces. There we go. Show 607 for Monday. Species, feces. Or species for feces. Or feces for... oh, no, we call it feces for species. That's what we'll do. Feces for species. Here we go. Anyway, the cat's up there at the counter anyway, and he's saying to the barman, "Anyway, I'll have please a pint of your finest cat milk." And the barman says, "Do you want the stuff that's labelled cat wheat milk that's marketed at cat owners but isn't really taken from cats, but is in fact cow's milk that has had the parts that make cats have diarrhea removed? Or do you want actual cat milk from a cat? Because if it's the former, I might be able to help you, but only if I know that you're going to come in here on a semi-regular basis. There's no point in me buying in a couple of 100 gallons of cat milk just to satisfy you for one order. I need to know that you're committing to coming back here on a regular basis. Either that, or maybe do you want milk from a cat? Because as I say, if that's the case, I don't think I can help you there." And the cat says, "Never mind any of that. Just give me a pint of your Murphy's. Give me a pint of Murphy's." That's pretty much like Guinness, except it tastes a bit like milk. According to the creator of this story anyway, I'm led to believe. So the barman says, "Oh, that I can do, sir. That I can do. I can handle a pint of Murphy's stout a lot more easily than I can handle getting a new supplier in to supply cat milk, or that other other option, which I believe I already explained, I didn't think would be a runner at all, getting real cat's milk in for you. Now, if you were a cow, this would be a lot simpler of a matter, although I wouldn't, because I don't think I'd be able to provide suitable seating for you. That stool that you've managed to climb up on, for example, although that stool would make a good milking stool, but you'd have to stay standing, and I'd be milking my customers for all they're worth. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that sort of a business. If I had cows coming in here ordering milk, I'd have to milk the first cow and give the milk to the second cow, and then I'd say, would you mind if I milk you so I can do this other gentle cow's order? No, I don't think my conscience would be up to that sort of thing. I'd rather just have an honest business where I buy stuff in and sell it off at a profit, and covering my overheads and make a comfortable living that way. The cat says that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Absolutely not a problem. Did we make any mention of what's happening with the other cat? Usually at the beginning we say two cats walk into a bar, one cat, that would be this one, the subject of the last 6.5 minutes narrative. Usually we say the other cat straight away sits down. I don't think we did that on that occasion. If so, that was an oversight on my part. So let's cover that quickly now. Two cats walk into a bar. One of them goes straight up to the bar, etc., etc. The other one leaves because he feels forgotten about, because he hasn't been mentioned at all, except in the context of the two cats entering the bar. And frankly, if you're just going to be part of a group of cats who do something, then you might as well not exist at all. That's like being part of a hive mentality. That's like one of those religions that thinks everybody is all one person, we're all one being, we're all Mother Earth, we're not individuals at all. Well, this cat is standing up for his individualism, so he walks out, and then he spends the next hour wandering around shopping centres until they close. Luckily it's Friday night, it's late opening, they're open till 9 or 10, and then after that he leaves and goes home to his bed, leaving the other cat wondering where the hell he is. It's not like he can just text message him. Cats don't use telephones. Not that they should have to. Well, nobody should have to use a telephone. There's more to life than using telephones, you know. You don't have to be contactable at every hour of every day, of every minute, of every ounce, of every universe, of every parallelogram, of everything. No. There's more to life than being technically, virtually omnipresent. That's what you young people do. You're obsessed with being nowadays. You're obsessed with being virtually omnipresent, available everywhere. If there's any far-flung corner of the earth from which you can't be contacted at 2 seconds' notice, then you think you've fallen off the planet and you're nobody. Oh no, that's not the case. It's not the case at all. It's far from the truth. The truth is over there past that horizon. The other truth is over there behind me past the other horizon. And it's so far, in fact, that if rather than going in a straight line from that horizon to the other horizon, you'd have to follow the horizon all the way around 180 degrees, which I believe would, if my geometry, my knowledge of basic geometry is not completely arseways, would be a longer distance than going straight from over there on that horizon to over there on that horizon. To go around to 180 degrees around the curve of all the horizons around me would be longer. Although now it occurs to me, why would you do that if you could just go in a straight line? Well, basically because cats are not freaking mathematicians. A cat is not a mathematician, no more than an albatross is a frigging photo neuroscientist. Know your place. That's one thing. One good thing that these animals do, they know their place. They go up in the morning, They'll be yow at her bowl until it gets full, and then they'll stop meowing until it's empty, and then they'll clean themselves, and then they'll go off about their business, doing cat things. They don't try to do human things. They don't try to become mules that tow carriages through the desert. No, they stick to their own species. They know their limits, and they're perfectly happy to do so. And there's a lot we could learn from that, I can tell you. There's an awful. Although now that you mention it, this cat who's going into the bar here is, well, I suppose he's the exception that proves the rule. If you weren't surprised at hearing that a cat walked into a bar, well then that would be a sign that cats in general are doing stuff that's outside the bounds of their usual expectations. But the whole fact that you're surprised at here of this cat walking into a bar just goes to show that they've earned a reputation as a species who stick to themselves normally and don't walk into bars, hence your surprise. QED, I looked that up. That's a mathematical thing. When you prove a theory and lay down all the proof with your equations and all, you put QED. It's Latin. It means which was to be shown. You've shown what was to be shown. You're asked to prove something and you proved it. It basically is the mathematical version of the end. And so it was forever and ever. Amen, amen, amen. Whatever the foreign. What's the mathematical version of amen? I would say it's QED, or someone else might say something else, and then we'd have to, we can't both be right. In maths, two people can't be right with two different answers. It's either right or you're wrong. You can't be half right. So we're on to some other subject then, possibly theology, I don't know. Let's look this up now. Let's have a look at this. What was I wanting to look up? Oh yes, what is the mathematical expression for amen? Question mark. The amen break and golden proportion. Students recently asked if I had any insights into why the amen break is so blah blah blah. Its expressions in worldwide art. 33 number Wikipedia. Amen expression. There's nothing here that's of any use to me, I don't think. Let's look into the 33 thing though. 33. This article may contain excessive, poor or irrelevant examples. Please improve the article. I'm not going to do that by adding more descriptive text. No, I'm not going to go interfering with numbers. In mathematics, 33 is the largest possible integer that can be expressed as a sum of different triangular numbers. It is also the smallest odd repdigit that is not a prime number. See, blah 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 blah. And then there's a bit down below. It says in religion, the divine name. There's loads of religious stuff here. There was John Paul the First. The Pope was the 33-day Pope. Something. Jesus' age 33. That's interesting now. Pope John Paul the First reigned for 33 days, and then he collapsed in a heap on the ground in the middle of nowhere. Possibly in the Vatican. Let's look up his... that's interesting. His entry in here says, servant of God, Pope John Paul I, Latin, Loanus Paulus PP, Giovanni Paola, blah, 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Let's see. Death. We'll switch down to the bit that says death. He was the first pope to abandon the papal coronation. He was the first pope to choose it. Blah blah blah. Let's see. There's the death thing. He was found dead sitting up in bed. If you're dead and you're sitting up in bed, I would argue that you're not sitting up. You're just frozen in time. Just 33 days. He most likely died the previous night. Blah, 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 blah. He died a bit like the way Elvis died. Elvis died on the toilet, but he was sitting up as well. No one found him until later. We'd hardly find him before happened, would you? Well, maybe there's people who can do that in the Vatican, who can find out. So there's probably some sort of a prophet who probably knew that was going to happen. Well, he couldn't say anything because he didn't want to cause a furore, and he'd seen back to the future as well, and he thought, no, I can't go telling people that this is going to happen, because then there'll be a branch off into another world. There'll be another parallel time where everything in the church will go bad, and there'll be all sorts of bad stuff happening, and that'll be all my fault and not the fault of anyone else, because that's how responsibilities work. Anyway, that's enough for now. I will put a cap on the 2 cats walk into a bar story for now, if you don't mind me saying so, because I think we're done here. Are we done here? We're done. We're done and dusted, over and done with the something, the what's that thing? The origin and the omega. No, the alpha and the omega. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. The first shall be if the first turns up late, then though that'll cause the aforementioned expression to be of no use. It's not meant to be any use. You can't arrange your whole fucking world around these expressions that someone wrote about something entirely different. The first shall be whoever turns up first, unless it's not people we're counting. Maybe we're talking about weather conditions. We're talking, no, the first thing that happens shall be a light breeze. So if the light breeze turns up first, what if the shower and the light breeze turn up at the same time? Is that a draw then? Or do we say, the light breeze turned up a millisecond before the shower, so the shower shall be last and the light breeze shall be first, but it was supposed to be the other way around and they got it wrong, so that's why we say the last shall be first and the first shall be last. In other words, we're predicting that something is going to happen the wrong way around, in which case surely that's the way it was going to happen, so we should predict it's going to bollocks. Who gives a shite? I've lost myself in my own fucking argument. It made sense in my head, though, I can tell you. I don't just make this stuff up unless it makes sense to me in my head. The fact that I don't convey it very well to you just goes to show how sophisticated these ideas are. That's why we have the likes of these mathematicians and theologians and podcasters to do all the thinking for us, so that you don't have to let me do all the thinking for you. And if I come up with anything important that can be communicated to your mind, I'll do my best to do so during these episodes, but anything that I can't figure out how to pass on to you, I'm afraid it's just going to have to stay in my head until I come up with a new way to squeeze it out. It's not like when you get a freaking spot on your face and everyone can see it. Well, it is a bit like that, because everyone can see that you've got a spot, but you can't just pluck it off. Sometimes it takes a while. You have to figure out how to do this tastefully without splattering it all over everybody else and infecting everybody. Anyway, good morning.
Sit, Pippi, sit.
Good cat.